Good evening, everyone. Here we will be updating our progress for the 10th week. The presentation will mainly cover the cost calculations for Aglis, starting from pricing to profitability and cash flow. So for the cost calculation,
After considering operation costs and after we done profitability analysis, we came up with these prices and is compared to two of our major competitors, which is Garuda Indonesia and Lion Air. Most of our prices are either below or in the middle of the price spectrum of our competitors. Since we offer direct flight, we would like to charge more than Lion but less than Garuda. But for some routes, this is very hard since it is not profitable to operate at those prices. So for some routes, we are more expensive than both of our competitors. Next is the direct cost for Aglis. A direct cost itself means a price or cost that is directly tied to the production of specific goods or services. This cost arises from direct operations of our cargo airlines and consists of flight crew cost, direct maintenance, fuel costs, terminal navigation, landing fees, navigation on route, ground handling, and parking fees. To find flight crew costs, we use this formula, where the number of crew is multiplied by the block hour and crew cost per person per block hour. For direct maintenance, we multiply the direct maintenance cost, which is in USD per block hour, by the block hour to find the maintenance cost. Then, for the fuel cost, we use this formula where we divide block fuel by density, then multiplied by fuel price. Block fuel itself is found by first multiplying fuel consumption with flight hour, then is added with the taxi fuel. For terminal navigation, we multiply the charged terminal navigation price by the MCOW, or maximum takeoff weight, of our chosen aircraft. Landing fees are different for each airport, also is the parking fee, so the cost is searched by web and not found by an equation. For navigation en route, we use this formula where we multiply the factor of aircraft weight. For our aircraft, which is the A321P2F, the factor of weight is 38. This is multiplied by the flight distance factor and unit rate, which is 7,000 rupiah per 1 July 2019. Lastly, for ground handling, we multiply the tariff per kilogram for ground handling by the cargo weight that needs to be loaded and unloaded.
Okay, so the next one is the indirect cost. The definition of indirect cost is that are the costs that are not directly accountable to a cost object, such as a particular project, facility, function, or product, which may be either fixed or variable. So there are 5 aspects that are included in our indirect cost. The first one is the general admission of airplane. The formula is $0.178 per nautical mile plus $980 per metric ton MTOW, maximum takeoff weight, times the block hour divided by the annual utilization of the airplane. And the second one is the GPE maintenance and overhead, and the third one is the GPE depreciation and amortization. Both of them can be seen from the table on the left, which is the table for coefficients that are used from Transportasi Udara Diktat. As we can see, for domestic flight, the GPE maintenance and overhead is $0.00095 per pounds, and the GPE for depreciation and amortization is $0.00127 per pounds. As for the maintenance overhead, it is 1.9 times the direct maintenance cost in the direct cost. And for the last one is the regulated agent cost, which is a fixed cost at 750 rupiah per kilogram. This nominal is fixed from the first one is from the Peraturan Menteri, which stated that the minimum cost for a regulated agent is 550, and an incident in Kuala Namu airport, which they protested that the price is too high at 1000 rupiah per kilogram. So we divided them both and get the fixed cost at 750 per kilogram.
Ownership costs cover all costs related with the asset of aircrafts, starting from acquiring the aircrafts. There are four elements that are part of the ownership cost. Depreciation represents the decrease of aircraft value over time due to the increase of operating time of the aircraft. In this case, narrow-body aircraft are assumed to have a residual value of 10% with a leasing period of 10 years. Wide bodies have the same residual values, but with leasing period of 15 years. Cost of spare parts, which is included in the total investment, are assumed to be 15% of the whole airframe or engine costs. Interest costs follow PMT equation, which is the payment for 6 months and consists of primary and interest cost. Loan in this case is the product of total aircraft investment with the interest costs. With that, the interest cost follows the equation 2 times the PMT subtracted by the total lease cost in a year, then divided by annual utilization. Insurance is also mandatory to be paid in case of any unwanted issues occur. Following the insurance cost equation, it is said that the annual insurance rate is 0.35% of the aircraft price. Here, insurance cost is the cost per block hour. Lease cost is based on Aglis' dry lease, where ALP means annual leasing payment and NP is the leasing period, and the values follow this equation.
So this slide shows the comparison of cost structure between rotation 1 until rotation 4. As it is seen from the slide, we have a negative contribution margin 3 on rotation 1 and 4. This is due to the lack of tonnage we got because we have a low market share on the first year. But as our business grow, our market share and capacity share also grow. Hence, uh, we will have positive CM3 on the second year. We can also see from the slide that the highest cost contribution is the lease cost. It's around 60%, and the second highest is the fuel cost. It's around 10%.
Now, we will discuss the net profit of Aglis using A321P2F aircraft. Here tabulated the detailed net profit or the revenue minus the total costs throughout the year. The first year of operation, the forecasted net profit is minus or Aglis will experience loss. With the increasing demand and new routes, Aglis will gain approximately 11 million US dollar in the year of 2024 and will continually gain profit until 2027. Here is visualized the net profit in form of column chart. We can see that Aglis from 2023 to 2027 is forecasted to have increasing annual profit, with annual growth rate average is 135%. Again, this is due to the additional new routes and the forecasted increasing payload about 15%.
Next, cash flow is analyzed towards the final aircraft type that Aglis will use, conducting an NPV analysis towards the all candidates. The aircraft type that had the largest NPV value is the Airbus A321P2F. The A321P2F that will be leased is 3 years old by year 2021. If that, the maintenance index is in accordance with the age. References from the air transport assignment. Next, the frequency per rotation each year is assumed to be ideal, where there every 1 day, 1 full rotation is covered. The number of flight crew for each rotation include 1 backup crew. The assumed values in this calculation can be seen in the description of each parameter. First, the lease deposit used the assumption where the deposit per aircraft is 25% of the lease cost of one aircraft, which is paid once for each aircraft. By 2024, the deposit value will be the same with 2023 because there is an additional one aircraft. The increment or decrement value per year also takes percentage value from air transport assignment. With this, the total cash flow for 5 years operation is around $280 million, being negative in the first year of operation. Next, to calculate the present values, we assume that the discount rate values are 10% from the current values. Finally, we get the 5 years NPV value is around $250 million. Based on this NPV value, we can say that the Airbus A321P2F is feasible in terms of routes and in terms of business. That is all for the cost calculation. Thank you for listening and see you tomorrow.